teamed up and we put the class together. So as we're going along, we're adding more stuff this year. We're going to get a little bit more technical. We're going to have individualized workout programs because we have a number of students that have physical impairments.
With beeper balls, I was taking students that had visual impairments and allowing them to play soccer so they could actually hear the ball rolling across the field. And at first they really had a hard time kind of grasping where the sound was coming from and how to follow it and developing that coordination. And by the end of the year, they were absolutely fantastic at it, scoring goals and everything. It was really awesome.
Just the kids' excitement when they're able to achieve something. For example, Kyle Chapin, who last year was his first year exposed to lifting, and now he pretty much goes on and he hits his machines, he knows where to set them in, he goes on his own. We had a couple students last year, it was the first time getting in the pool. Some of them didn't know how to swim, so things like that, we start off with basics and we build from there. Something that's always interested me. When I went through college, I took a lot of adaptive PE classes, and working with that, group of students is always something I've enjoyed.
It's all encompassing. Actually, the physical development that they've come through, starting at the beginning of the year to what they're able to develop through to the end of the year, we're really, instead of monitoring can they meet this benchmark and everything, it's how much progress are they making through the actual year. And the students have been doing absolutely fantastic. Their endurance, the flexibility, their overall physical well-being is greatly increased by the end of the year from what they're doing in this class.
Just the support and the amount of acknowledgement, the kids are getting, and just the attitudes of some of the kids. They're more outgoing in the classroom. Like last year, I had a couple football players that were aides for the class, and this year I handpicked a couple kids that are also aides, and just the interaction with the kids and walking in the hall. And you'll notice with a couple of the blind students and vision impaired, like Jesse and Austin, where they're more confident walking down the hall. They weren't used to having the spatial movement. For example, when we take them out on the football field, they can just basically go wherever they want.
Julie Uniton, and I'm a teacher consultant for the visually impaired and orientation mobility specialist from Oakland Schools, and I provide services to to all of the districts in Oakland County. I actually pushed for this class because typically visually impaired and blind students, unless they're really pushed by their families, they don't have a lot of experience or a lot of exposure to activities, especially like physical education. And if they do, they only have it at school, and then they don't really gain a passion or an interest for it. So I've seen a huge difference just in their confidence. Austin actually went to sports camp for the visually impaired. He's never been away. He traveled to Western Michigan, lived on the campus. That all came from his exposure to that class.
Hi, I'm Ginger Messenger, Working Messenger's mom. He talks a lot about this class actually. There's different aspects of this class there's so many different areas that they touch base on. Obviously with the actual health and fitness aspect of it, going in and using certain things, the equipment or whatever, but he also goes in and will play games with other people. That's things Rakeem could never do before.
I'm Mr. Frankowiak, principal of Waterford Kettering High School. This is actually our second year. It was conceptualized about 2 summers ago, and we knew that we had to better service our students here at Kettering. We saw a need, and I was very fortunate to be the principal here and have 2 teachers such as Mr. Young and Mr. Hanna kind of run with it. Pitched the idea to them, and we sat down and we looked at curriculum, we looked at what we would need, and they took the ball and they ran with it. Well, it's one of those things that, like any program here, we strive for continuous improvement. And so we consistently look at what we have and what the needs are with the students. In that particular class, the makeup of the students changes. The coolest thing is it's new experiences that students may never have experienced before. You could be a student with a visual impairment and never have played basketball. You are in this class. You could be a student who has some type of physical mobility challenge, and you are playing soccer and you're running our field out there with a lot of other students. You could be a student who socially you struggle making new connections. We have a lot of general education students and athletes that give up an elective credit to be mentors in there. They're able to make new connections and connect to Kettering in a different way. I mean, there are so many things I can talk about. Those are just a few of the highlights. You know, one of the special things about Kettering is, and you'll never see this on test scores, you'll never see this on ratings that, you know, we might have from the state of Michigan, is how special our students are. We have a very service-oriented student body. And so when you look at the mentors in that class, you know, it's a very symbiotic relationship. It is just as valuable for the students who are in the class as it is for the mentors, because that act of service, that act of giving back, that act of helping their fellow student become excited, to become successful, to become engaged, is a very, very sense of fulfillment that it's very unique to that opportunity.